All right, so move on to the next segment. I'll be ranking LeBron James's top 5 teammates of his NBA career. So LeBron James has played with some icons, some legends, played on some super teams, played with some Hall of Famers. LeBron James has gotten a mix of everything, teammates wise, in his NBA career. So I'll be ranking his top 5 teammates from 1 all the way down to number 5. So number 1, I think this one's a no-brainer. Dwayne Wade was LeBron James's best teammate in LeBron James's 22-year NBA career. And it was a show when Dwayne Wade and LeBron James played together in South Beach with the Miami Heat. I mean, they created a super team evidently out there in Miami, but this duo is one of the best duos in NBA history. They showed up in South Beach together, won two NBA finals together, 2 titles, and went to 4 straight NBA finals in the 4 years that they played together. Actually, they played a total of 5 years together. A lot of people forget the fact that Dwayne Wade did play a little bit in Cleveland with LeBron James as well. But they also had an epic 27-game winning streak that ended in 2013, one of the highest win streaks in NBA history. But I think LeBron James and Dwayne Wade at the time were the best duo that the league has seen since Kobe and Shaq were teammates out there in LA with the Los Angeles Lakers. But Dwayne Wade was a great teammate for LeBron because if you think about it, it was Dwayne Wade's team until LeBron and Bosh got there. And Dwayne Wade made the sacrifice of becoming the second scoring option behind LeBron James in order to make this thing work, because the big three wouldn't work if it was vice versa. Or if LeBron James was the third scoring option, that he let Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh be the first and second scoring options over top of him. So the fact that they made this work in the prime of their careers, had a lot of success with the Miami Heat, probably left some years on the table because I feel like they had unfinished business. But LeBron decided to go to Cleveland and play with somebody else that I'll get into in a few moments. But the fact that LeBron James and Dwayne Wade had some epic highlights together, unstoppable, great transition players. And I feel like Dwayne Wade low-key brought the best out of LeBron James on the defensive side of the ball, because that's the best we've seen LeBron James play. For someone that's not known as a defensive player, those 4 years that he had with the Miami Heat, he was playing great defensive basketball. And one of the years, I think, it was 2012, 2013, possibly could have won Defensive Player of the Year for the first time of his NBA career. So that was a special duo to watch out there in South Beach. And I think Dwayne Wade, his best friend, was his best teammate in his NBA career. Now, at number 2, I think Kyrie Irving is at number 2. Now, I believe that Kyrie Irving is LeBron James' second best teammate all time. Now, their time in Cleveland was cut short. They only played 3 years together, but they made the most out of it in the 3 years. I mean, these two players, LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, were great dominant offensive players, and they're also great offensive ball handlers. LeBron James is one of the best passers of all time, and Kyrie Irving has one of the best ball handling skills of all time. And who could ever forget the legendary duo that overcame the 3-1 deficit in the NBA Finals against the best regular season team in NBA history, in the Golden State Warriors that year, that won 73 games, lost 9 games, and they had one of the biggest comebacks in sports history, overcoming a 3-1 lead, helping the Cleveland Cavaliers win their first and only NBA title. But Kyrie Irving was a big reason why LeBron James left what he had out there in Miami, where he was playing with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Yes, Dwayne Wade and Bosh were declining, but why would you pass up? It's hard for someone to believe that LeBron would pass up playing with those two, and they already had a super team in Miami, to go back home in Cleveland and play back in the land. It was one of the reasons why were Kyrie Irving, and they were just so unstoppable together. Even though Kyrie was the second scoring option, he did score 4,485 points with LeBron James on his team. But the biggest downfall, I guess, where this relationship headed into, or this marriage between LeBron James and Kyrie headed into a divorce, because Kyrie wanted out, and he didn't want to be shadowed behind LeBron James anymore. He wanted to be his own guy, the number 1 scoring option, and have his own team. And unfortunately, Kyrie got traded to the Celtics, and the rest is history. I mean, Kyrie has bounced from team to team since then. I mean, Boston, Brooklyn, Dallas. I mean, Kyrie has been around for a while, but one thing that you can say about Kyrie is he never became that number 1 guy, leading his own team to championship rings and championship aspirations. He's always needed somebody with him. Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic, Never seen him as the number one guy. So that's something I think Kyrie Irving has to live with. He was never a great leader all time, but still one of the best one of the best point guards that I've ever seen in this generation, and one of the best guards of all time. But as I digress, LeBron James, that would be his second best teammate of all time. At number 3, I will put Anthony Davis. Now, LeBron James and Anthony Davis spent a lot of time together playing in LA with the Los Angeles Lakers. 6 seasons together, won an NBA title together. I'm telling you guys, as great as LeBron James has been, this is the only time I ever questioned, was LeBron James the best player on his team, when Anthony Davis played the first year in LA from 2019 to 2020. He was playing at an MVP level, averaged 26 points per game, great on both ends of the court. And him and LeBron were truly unstoppable when the first couple of years in LA together. And they won that NBA title in the bubble that year with COVID and everything going on in the world. I still stand on it to this day. The NBA bubble, whether you guys like it or not, winning a title in the NBA bubble is probably one of the hardest championships to win, based on no home court advantage for the playoffs, no fans in attendance. It was basically like me and you guys playing a pickup game at a gym at LA Fitness. Really no factors, just hoops, just the best of the best balling against each other. Plus, they were restricted of leaving the facility out there in Orlando. And if you did have to leave, you had to take tests to see if you had the coronavirus or not. And you were basically restricted to a hotel. The only thing you could do is eat, hoop, sleep, repeat. So the adversity that these players had to face in the NBA bubble, being there for months, being there from August to whenever you got bounced in the playoffs for the Lakers that year, it was all the way until October. A weird ending to the NBA playoffs that year. But I feel like Anthony Davis never got to that level that he played at 2019, 2020 ever again. But injuries started to pile up and take a toll on AD, and that's the reason why him and LeBron were not on the court together when the Lakers needed them the most at times. But it's unfortunate because Anthony Davis never took the keys from LeBron and controlled the Lakers. That was how it was supposed to be. But it never happened, and unfortunately Anthony Davis had to be the sacrifice to get Luka Doncic, a young talented player, possibly a generational talent, to LA to become the next Laker great, with guys like the names like Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Magic, Kareem. And unfortunately it had to happen like that. But that chemistry that those two had together, I would say, was LeBron James' third best teammate of all time. At 4, I'll put Chris Bosh. Now, Chris Bosh was obviously there, like I just said a few moments ago, the big three in Miami during 2010 to 2014 of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, one of the greatest trios in basketball history. Chris Bosh had to also make a lot of sacrifices to make the big three work. Don't get it twisted. Chris Bosh was a top 5 pick in that 2003 draft class, one of the best draft classes in NBA history, because he had LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Carmelo Anthony, etc. But don't get it twisted. Chris Bosh was a number 1 scoring option in the 6 with the Toronto Raptors for years, and he had to come and go from the number 1 guy to the 3rd scoring option on this team. But don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. Chris Bosh and LeBron James' chemistry was there at nights where Dwayne Wade wasn't available, and these guys had great chemistry. And Chris Bosh was always an elite rim protector, great on both ends of the court. But whoever forget being a team player when LeBron James missed that 3-point shot in Game 6 of the 2013 NBA Finals, everybody thought it was over until Chris Bosh grabbed the rebound, kicked it out to Ray Allen, made the 3. The game goes in overtime, and the rest is history. But I gotta say, Chris Bosh being that important on that Miami Heat team and being that important in LeBron James' career, I gotta put him at number 4 on my list. And at number 5, I gotta put Kevin Love. Kevin Love and LeBron James played 4 years together in Cleveland, won an NBA title together. They were a part of the Big 3 in Cleveland. Kevin Love was a part of the Big 3 in Cleveland with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. And Kevin Love also had to take a step back for LeBron James, because if you guys remember, he was a dominant power forward player that loved to be physical, make contact, to draw fouls, and get points in the paint, playing with the Minnesota Timberwolves back in the day until he got traded to Cleveland. Then he had to take a step back and become a 3rd scoring option. Realistically, had to change his approach offensively of how he played in order to make it work out there in Cleveland. And he was a great spot up shooter for LeBron James and the Cavs when they needed a spark. He was a great teammate, always a great guy that LeBron James could go to when things went down in Cleveland. But LeBron's played with some great icons, some legends, some all-time greats, and it was hard to make this list. But I do believe those are the best teammates that LeBron James has ever played with in his NBA career.